In the beginning, Puss in Boots narrates the tale of a shooting star that falls from the sky, scorching the forest and giving birth to a dark forest. However, at the center of this darkness, the wishing star lands, bringing life and hope. According to legend, within the star lies a single wish waiting to be granted. Puss is introduced as a living legend, enjoying his time and throwing a grand party at the governor's house in Del Mar. As he revels in his fame, chaos ensues when the governor returns to find his house in disarray and his prized possessions destroyed. Angered, the governor orders his guards to capture Puss. Puss effortlessly fights off the guards while his guests continue to celebrate, oblivious to the chaos. Outsmarting the guards and the governor, Puss escapes by launching himself away from the house with fireworks. Little does he know, his playful act awakens a dormant monster that resides beneath the city. The monster immediately attacks the house, capturing everyone in its path. Puss springs into action, engaging in an epic battle with the one-eyed giant as it rampages through the town. Cleverly, he wraps a bell around the giant's horns, using it to knock the monster unconscious. The grateful villagers applaud Puss for saving their lives. Amid the villagers' praise, a bell falls and crushes Puss to the ground. He awakens in the office of the village doctor, who reveals that he died due to the bell accident. Puss, however, remains unfazed, knowing that cats have 9 lives. The doctor questions him on how many times he has died, but Puss confesses his lack of mathematical skills. Despite this, he vividly recalls the events that caused his previous deaths. Being hit by a bull, killed by dogs in a poker game, falling from a castle while drinking milk, crushed by weight, launching himself from a cannon, suffering an allergic reaction to shellfish, and getting burnt while baking cookies. Gingy the gingerbread man makes a quick appearance. Puss realizes that the recent bell incident marked his 8th death, leaving him with just 1 life remaining. After the doctor advises Puss to retire from his adventurous life, he remains confident and dismisses any worries. While having a drink at a bar, he ponders the doctor's words. At that moment, the mysterious big bad wolf approaches him, requesting Puss's autograph. Suspicious, Puss recognizes that the wolf intends to harm him after glancing at a wanted poster with his name on it. Without hesitation, Puss draws his sword to defend himself, but the wolf swiftly disarms him. This encounter reveals the wolf as the most formidable opponent Puss has ever faced, easily countering his attacks and leaving Puss wounded. For the first time, fear grips Puss, prompting him to flee from this life-threatening adversary. With few options left, Puss decides to retire from his adventurous life. He buries his boots and outfit underground, following the doctor's advice. Seeking refuge, he goes to the house of an elderly woman named Mama Luna and pretends to be an adorable, abandoned cat. The compassionate Mama Luna, a devoted cat lover, adopts him. Inside her home, Puss discovers a multitude of other cats she has taken in. Mama Luna treats Puss like a child, bathing him and giving him a new name, Pickles. As Puss settles into his domesticated life, he becomes increasingly despondent. Meanwhile, a young girl named Goldi and a trio of bounty hunters known as Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear are searching for Puss in Boots. They come across Mama Luna's house and forcefully enter, demanding to know Puss's whereabouts. Baby Bear picks up Puss but fails to recognize him due to his grown beard and lack of his iconic outfit. They stumble upon a grave, and with Baby Bear detecting Puss's scent, they conclude that Puss is dead. Overhearing their conversation, Puss peeks from the other side and learns that they need him for a heist. They plan to steal a map leading to a wishing star, currently in the possession of a man named Big Jack Horner. Excited by the prospect, Puss decides to return to his heroic activities and retrieve the map before the bounty hunters, hoping it will restore his remaining 9 lives. Infiltrating Big Jack's house, Puss is accompanied by Perrito, a dog who behaves like a cat and believes he can be of great assistance on their quest. They discover that Big Jack is a thief who collects magical artifacts from various fairy tale creatures, including Alice's growing cookie, Snow White's poisonous apples, and Cinderella's glass slippers. As Jack plans to use the stolen map to locate the wishing star and gain possession of all the world's treasures, Puss seizes the opportunity to steal the map himself. However, his plan is foiled when he is intercepted by his former flame, Kitty Softpaws. The struggle for the map catches the attention of Goldi, who arrives with her bears and expresses her anger toward Kitty. Goldi had initially recruited Kitty to help steal the map, but now she desires it for herself. Their argument becomes loud, drawing the attention of Jack and his henchmen, who give chase. Puss and Kitty manage to jump into a carriage driven by Perrito, who aids their escape. Jack sends his henchmen after them, but Puss cleverly throws bags of gold on the ground, diverting the henchmen's attention as the villagers scramble for the treasure. Just as our heroes get away, Puss notices the intimidating presence of the big bad wolf lurking among the crowd, instilling fear in him. Puss, Kitty, and Perrito embark on their journey to find the wishing star using the map. They enter the dark forest through a portal, where the star is said to reside. They discover that the map has the ability to alter the environment based on who holds it. When Puss and Kitty hold it, their path becomes treacherous and filled with darkness. However, when Perrito holds the map, their surroundings transform into a vibrant and joyful rainbow land due to his boundless optimism. They decide to let Perrito carry the map. As they make their way, a multitude of enormous flowers begin attacking them. However, Perrito's sniffing fascinates the flowers, allowing the group to pass unharmed. Goldi and her bears arrive in the dark forest, but they are swiftly defeated by Jack and his henchmen, who aim to clear a path by cutting down the flowers. Much to their misfortune, the henchmen end up being devoured by the flowers. Jack employs a magical creature known as the Phony X to bypass the obstacle. Amidst the journey, Perrito shares a story from his past life, recounting how his family despised him and repeatedly attempted to get rid of him. Despite their actions, Perrito always returned to the family home, believing they weren't serious. However, one day, they succeeded in discarding him by throwing him in a sock with a rock into the ocean. Puss and Kitty listen to this tale with sadness, empathizing with Perrito's heartbreaking experiences. Perrito, always seeing the silver lining in everything, ventures into a brightly colored forest, unaware that Jack and his henchmen were already lying in wait. They capture Perrito, forcing Puss to hand over the map. Another epic battle ensues. Just as Puss retrieves the lost map during the fight, he is haunted by an illusion of the big bad wolf and flees into the forest in fear. Perrito eventually finds him hiding under a tree, trembling with terror. Perrito offers comfort, helping Puss regain his composure. Puss confides in Perrito, revealing that he is down to his last life, which terrifies him. He explains that he is searching for the wishing star to save his own life. Puss shares a story about a time when he was supposed to marry Kitty at a church on their wedding day but left her, believing there was no room for anyone in his adventurous life. Overhearing Puss express regret and vulnerability, Kitty decides to lend him a helping hand. Meanwhile, Goldi opens the map, leading her to an old cabin where memories of her past as a helpless orphan begin to resurface. She recalls how the bears took her in, becoming her loving family. Meanwhile, Jack resurfaces, using his men as a bridge to cross a treacherous mountain path. However, as he attempts to bring his carriage along, the weight proves too much, causing his henchmen to fall to their deaths. A magical creature witnessing this calls Jack an egocentric person, but he is flicked away from Jack's shoulder. Back with Puss and the group, they manage to sneak into the cabin, with Puss successfully retrieving the map once again. However, their escape is thwarted when the bears discover them. In a desperate bid to flee, Goldi captures Perrito, using him as a hostage. As tensions rise, the surroundings begin to shift dramatically. Puss finds himself trapped within a colossal crystal cave, surrounded by shimmering crystals. With the map in hand, he shows it to Kitty, enabling her to locate Perrito's whereabouts while he seeks an escape from the crystal confinement. Meanwhile, Perrito, Goldi, and Baby Bear exchange insults until Perrito intervenes, reminding them that they are, in fact, a perfect family. They just haven't realized it yet. He expresses his wish to win, just as they do, bringing a momentary pause to the chaos. In an instant, Goldi and the bears grow fond of Perrito, considering taking him into their family. However, Kitty seizes the opportunity, snatching Perrito and making her escape. Puss encounters his former 8 lives, who try to convince him to abandon Kitty and Perrito, urging him to find the wishing star for himself to regain his 9 lives. Puss, however, realizes that he is content with his current life alongside Kitty and Perrito, and believes he doesn't need to pursue the wishing star. His epiphany is interrupted by the arrival of the big bad wolf, who reveals himself as death personified. The wolf declares that he has come to take Puss's final life since Puss never valued his previous 8 lives. Filled with fear, Puss flees from the wolf. Witnessing Puss running away, Kitty becomes deeply disappointed, assuming he is attempting to betray them. Puss finally locates the wishing star and begins reciting the incantation. However, Kitty and Perrito arrive, mistakenly believing that Puss is betraying them again. They had previously discussed sharing the wish. Puss is about to reveal the truth about his impending death and last life, but before he can, Goldi, the bears, and Jack with his henchmen appear. An intense battle ensues as everyone fights for control of the map. Amidst the chaos, the wishing star begins to rise from the ground, generating a powerful force field that ejects everyone from its vicinity. The last of Jack's henchmen is swallowed by the shining light, and Baby Bear nearly meets the same fate. Goldi sacrifices her chance at the wish to save Baby Bear, finally realizing that the bears are her true family. Kitty fights off Jack, pushing him into his bottomless bag to rescue Perrito. As Puss contemplates making his wish, the big bad wolf emerges, encircling him with a ring of fire. The wolf mocks Puss for his fear of death and accuses him of taking the easy way out by using the wish to cheat death. Remembering the meaningful moments he shared with Kitty and Perrito, Puss decides to make his last life count. He picks up his sword and engages in a fierce battle with the wolf. After a grueling fight, Puss successfully disarms the wolf. The big bad wolf, filled with anger, gazes into Puss's eyes, realizing that Puss is no longer the arrogant little legend who thought he was immortal. Acknowledging that there will be another opportunity to meet again, the wolf departs. Meanwhile, Jack emerges from the bag, having consumed the growing cookie that transforms him into a giant. He seizes the map and begins to make his wish. However, Perrito cleverly distracts Jack by appealing to his vulnerable side with his adorable puppy eyes. Jack dismisses Perrito's attempt, claiming that such tricks do not affect him since he has no heart. Unbeknownst to Jack, Perrito's ploy buys time for Goldi to throw Puss and Kitty toward Jack. The bears join the fight as well. Puss, Kitty, and Goldi decide to destroy the map, realizing that they no longer need it. As they destroy the map, the wishing star begins to self-destruct. Jack tries to piece the map back together, but Cricket, using Jack's phoenix, burns the remaining fragment, ensuring the map's destruction. The wishing star absorbs Jack before shooting back into the sky and exploding. Goldi and the bears bid farewell, going their separate ways to live their happily ever after. Puss and Kitty, now considering Perrito as their new family, sit together, gazing at the stars. This marks the end of their adventure, and they find contentment in their newfound bond.